We are here in Waco, Texas. This has actually been a trip that was planned 3 years ago in 2020 that I had planned, or that we had planned to come visit Waco, and we were actually going to go to a conference here. But it was canceled because of COVID, so
Here we are.
I am making it up to
3
Jocelyn,
years later.
making it up to her for her 35th birthday was Monday?
A week ago tomorrow.
So she's now in her midlife crisis
In Waco, Texas.
in Waco, Texas. She's living her best life. You guys should have seen her at
Actually,
Magnolia when we went to Magnolia yesterday. She
I was in heaven.
She was kind of in in her own little happy place. I could tell. Got her creative juices flowing, and she was just loving it. So the whole trip was worth it just for that few hours that we were there, just to see her.
I turned into a child.
She turned into a
At Disneyland.
little child at Disneyland. Yeah. But yeah, we are just here for the weekend, and yeah, just getting some kind of much needed time away, spend with the Lord, and to just really spend time with each other and reconnect. Our kids are back in Kansas with Grandma and Grandpa. Shout out to Grandma and Grandpa for watching the kids.
You're the best.
So yeah, anyway, we just wanted to update everybody. Lots happened, like a lot. So
Start at the very beginning.
yeah. So in this last family DTS with YWAM Kona, it was an amazing school. My brother Sean and his wife Micah and their 3 kids were also in this school as students, which was super fun to have them there and to spend time with them and to see all the God is doing in their lives and where He's leading them. We fasted and prayed and went after healing for Noelle, our niece, who's had autoimmune issues since she was like 2, and saw God heal her. She was baptized in the ocean there in Hawaii. To just be a part of all that was pretty amazing and super fun to see what God, just to see His love like poured out. That was super fun.
Yeah, and also I would say deepen our faith in the area of praying and fasting. It's not something that we have been great about as a spiritual discipline. And it's through that we really, really saw the power in praying and fasting. Yeah, through Noelle's healing. And not to say it would have been a waste if she hadn't have been healed. It was just God deepening our faith through her healing.
Yeah.
And then it all, like Jeff said, culminated in her getting baptized, and it was such a beautiful picture of the Father's heart and just all the things that He deposited in that time in their family and in Noelle's heart. It's just so powerful.
Yeah.
Here she is 9 years old and going after the gifts and just really going after stuff, and there is no junior Holy Spirit, and just seeing that in our niece was really, really cool.
Yeah, it was. Fasting and praying is something that's changed my life over the last year or 2. I've really been just diving deeper into, okay, what does it mean to actually fast and pray? What does it mean to actually seek God in a way that He is your source of life and substance, and He is the sole focus. And yeah, so I've really just been kind of experimenting with that over the last couple of years and diving deeper into it, doing longer and longer fasts and deeper prayers, and just really going after Him in that just completely different way than what I'm even used to. And it's changed everything. It's changed the way that I seek Him, and the way and just my overall spirit being connected. The only way that I can really describe it in words is in fasting and praying. I've just experienced so many things, and I'm feeling so much closer to the Father, so much closer and connected with the Holy Spirit. I can hear His still small voice so much clearer. I can understand what He's speaking so much better. And the breakthrough, like the fasting and breakthrough, or the breakthrough with fasting, is like way beyond what I ever even thought was possible. What I've experienced in my own journey with it is fasting and praying for something very specific, and asking God for confirmation in a very specific way, and that confirmation coming in that very specific way within just hours or days of that prayer and fasting. And so I'm like, it's blowing my mind what is actually bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's just blowing my mind, like what is actually possible when you fast and you pray, and you're basically, what you're saying is like, God, I want you and I need you. I want to be so in tune with you more than anything else, more than food, more than social media, more than relationships or whatever it is. Like, God, you are the sole focus. You are everything that I am focused on. And so when I fast and pray, that's really what I'm focused on, is like putting everything else aside, and laying food and substance and things like that aside, to be able to focus solely on what it is that He is speaking. And a lot of times it's not even Him speaking. A lot of times it's just being with Him and spending time with Him, worshiping Him, and just connecting on a whole different level than what you can do when you're not fasting. And so it's just been really good. Like, it's just changed the way that I go after things in spiritual warfare, and in
Making big decisions.
making big life decisions, and things like that. It's just really, 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 really helped. And I'm just so thankful that He's taken me down this road of just seeking Him on a deeper level. And it's been really good. So anyway, that's just a little thing on fasting and prayer. If you haven't done it, I highly suggest it. Highly. So just kind of updating on like what kind of things that have been going on is in this last family DTS, that we started the school in September of 2022, and it ran through February of 2023, where the families graduated and things. And so it's an amazing school, amazing families from all over the world. And we had a team of families that went to the Philippines. That's where Sean and Micah went. And then a team that went to Indonesia, and Bali and that area. And then we had a team that went to Mexico in a couple different locations in Mexico. And we actually joined the team in Mexico for a couple weeks. Did a pastoral visit with that team, and were able to do kind of a working pastoral, which was really, really fun. It was really good to like get back into the nations again and really see like our kids come alive in that whole thing. Our kids love outreach. They love any sort of outreach ministry. So it was really good just to do that as a family again. And then, yeah, just coming back from Mexico, we really felt God was speaking to us kind of about what was next. He didn't give us any specifics about like what we are doing next or anything like that. It was literally just like this feeling in our spirit of like just feeling like he was shifting us. Like there was a major shift in our spirit, and there was a major shift in what was happening with our family, which was very exciting, but also very it was very hard at the same time. So because we didn't know exactly what he was doing, but I just remember graduating all of these families in the DTS, and they were going to be going home, or wherever they were off to, whatever they were doing, whatever God's called them to do. And Jocelyn and I just kind of looked at each other, and we were just like, I think that this is our last family DTS in Kona. Like I think this is it for now. And we both felt that way. Didn't really know exactly what that meant. So yeah, I don't know if you wanted to add anything or not, but
yeah, so from there it was, what happened next? Sorry, I lost my train of thought. It was just a few weeks after the school ended, and Jeff and I both had COVID.
Oh yeah.
And then found out my dad was having a heart procedure to see if there was blockage in his heart, because he'd been struggling with breathing issues, and they'd been doing all kinds of tests and different doctor visits to find out the cause of all this. And they did the procedure, and they found out he had blockage in 2 arteries of 100%, and 1 artery was 90% blocked. So they told him he needed open heart surgery, he'd need a quadruple bypass, and he had to stay at the hospital from the time he had that procedure until they could get him in, which was a week later. So while this is all happening, my cousin reached out and was like, we have to get you home, you have to be here for this, and just blessed us by flying me home, which was huge. But before I left, we began to pray about what it would look like for our whole family to be there, and to maybe be there for a while to help with his recovery, and just really support my parents in this time of him recovering from the open heart surgery. And so, yeah, we began to pray as a family, and yeah, we were hearing that we were supposed to all go. It wasn't just going to be me going for a couple of weeks or a few weeks. It was going to be our entire family going together.
The original plan was to send Jocelyn home so that she could be with her mom and dad and help out, and that was just kind of like the immediate plan. I would stay with the kids in Hawaii, and they would continue with school and stuff like that, and I'd continue with my duties and stuff that I had on the campus there. But yeah, once we sat down and we prayed, we almost immediately just heard the Lord just give us specific words like go, family, and trust. And we really felt like he was saying, go as a family. You need to be there. And so felt super rushed, because by the time that we prayed this, and by the time that Jocelyn's dad went in for surgery, it was only like a week. And so we literally had a week of trying to figure all this out. And for Jocelyn, she left within 4 days of that phone call, or that prayer. And so Jocelyn went first.
I want to back up though, because we forgot to talk about the weeks leading up to his procedure and all that. Our family had already been praying about what was next, what was God leading us into, and we had been praying about possibly doing a family Bible school at the ranch that we visited in January on outreach.
In Mexico.
In Mexico. They're pioneering a brand new Bible school that's for the entire family. So we were praying about doing that, and so we already felt like a shift and a transition that like we might be leaving Kona like sometime in the near future. And so it was like, then this all came up with my dad, and it was just like, it just moved a lot quicker than we were anticipating. And so yeah, that's kind of what was the catalyst for us leaving in a very rushed way that wasn't ideal, and was
had
really
to say
hard
goodbyes,
to say goodbye
really, really quickly, which didn't feel right. None of it felt none of it felt good. None of it felt right. The only thing that literally kept us going and moving forward with the decision to leave Kona was just this overwhelming peace that we had in our spirits, that's what we were supposed to do. And so that's literally the only thing that kept us moving forward, because everything on the outside and the natural just felt wrong. It felt it felt like we were kind of cheating people, you know. It felt like we were kind of just I don't even know how to explain it, like
we were doing something wrong.
Like we were.
But
doing
even in our
wrong.
spirits, we knew that this was right. This was absolutely, without a doubt, the right way to move forward. And I think because we were so in agreement and alignment that we just had this deep peace.
Yeah.
That's really what kept us moving forward and able to pack up our entire lives in a weekend and say goodbye to all of our
YWAM family,
friends, our family there.
And our YWAM family was extremely supportive, and I think that's really what kind of helped us also move forward, was just like they get it, they understand, like when God speaks and when he moves that quickly, you have to have a peace and a grace to know that like there's got to be a release. And there was definitely a release for us. Even our 2-year commitment with YWAM Kona was it was up. Our 2-year commitment was up on the day that I left with the kids on March 9th. And so that was like literally our 2 years. And so, yeah, there's just so much grace around it. For people just loved on us well. And, but it was still really, really difficult, really hard to say goodbye. And, then Jocelyn got back to Kansas City within just a couple of days of praying. And so she had to say goodbyes. She had to say goodbyes like super, super fast to people in Kona. And she left. And then it was just me and the kids there for a couple more days. And had to pack up everything.
As we were packing, we had one of our guys from Boys Town come visit. He was on Maui, and he came over for a day just to see us and catch up with us after 5 years. And
yeah,
which was amazing that he was able to do that before we were
That was really
gone.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Lord.
Yeah. amazing. The timing of everything is just so crazy. And so yeah, we got back to me and the kids got back to Kansas City the day of her dad's surgery, and so we were able to be there and yeah, just be there and visit him in the hospital and stuff like that. He was in the hospital about a week, I think, after the surgery, and
surgery went well.
Surgery went good.
Recovery's been a little harder.
But yeah, recovery's been pretty difficult for him. Just a lot of different things, a lot of different like nerve pain and things he's dealing with. They had to take veins and things out of his arms and legs, and so he's had problems with like nerve pain, especially in his arm. But then just dealing with things like the anxiety and depression that comes along with it, and then the pain on top of that has just been really hard on him. And so yeah, it was just so the Lord for us to make that decision and to come to Kansas City, even for just this season. Yeah, it's just been really good that we've been able to be there with everything just helping with whatever we can help with. And that's basically what we knew that we were coming for, was just to help, whether it was mowing the lawn or whether it was cooking meals or taking care of different projects and things. Helping out with Jocelyn's grandma's like home renovation, which her dad was kind of doing, but then obviously after having the open heart surgery was not able to do that anymore. So I've been able to just step in and kind of help out and do that. So it's just been really cool to see how God has just led us here to just to help and be here. But just within days of her dad coming home from the hospital, we got a phone call from her mom saying that her grandma, Jocelyn's grandma, had a stroke, and it was only a couple days after her stroke that she ended up passing away. So that was hard, like going through everything that her dad had been going through, and having to go into the ER in the middle of the night because of pain, and just seeing like what he was going through, and then we get the phone call that her grandma had a stroke. It was just like, I don't know, it was just like God was just telling us, over and over again, like, I have you here for a reason. There's a reason why I called you back here. And so we just immediately knew like that we made the right decision. We knew that God called us there. And so yeah, I don't know if you want to ask.
This video is getting really long, but
We can edit it.
yeah. Sad.
Okay.
I got it.
So, like a week later, we were able to be there with her whole extended family for her grandma's funeral, and which was just
It was just so kind of the Lord that not only were we able to be home to help Dad with his recovery, but we would have wanted to be there for my grandma's funeral anyway. So it was just like so heavy, but so thankful that we were there for all of that. And yeah, with my entire extended family, and yeah, so it's been really heavy, but we feel extremely grateful to be home in this season that all this is happening.
yeah. And then we also found out that we were pregnant. After 18 months, the Lord deposited something in Jocelyn like a year and a half ago that to continue to grow our family. I thought we were done having kids. We thought we were done. But yeah, God just gave that invitation to, continue growing our family, and we strongly felt like, yeah, this is absolutely what we want to do. And so we immediately started trying a year and a half ago. And yeah, for 18 months of trying and just not getting pregnant was really, really hard. Like, knowing that the Lord has invited us into this, and then it not happening was really difficult. There were some months that were really, really hard on Jocelyn especially, and then through the process of this whole thing, moving from Kona back to Kansas City.
It's just, was it even a couple weeks that we had been in Kansas City that I found out I was pregnant?
It was a week.
Yes. And we were like, really? Now, God? We just left everything and packed up our lives, and now we get pregnant. Of course we were thrilled. Like, there was so much excitement and joy and all the things. It was just the timing. We were like, okay.
Yeah, it was weird. It was almost like we had to like pack up and move, and then we were pregnant. It was so weird. Like, it was so good though. Like, yeah, finding that out, we were just super excited. But just days after her grandma's funeral, she ended up miscarrying. And so that was another thing that we were just trying to process and work through. Like, all of these things happening, and just almost feeling like just kind of in this whirlwind of like, what's going on, and trying to figure it out. And if we haven't figured out by now, like, trying to figure out everything doesn't work. And so we continue to just trust the Lord that, like, what He's doing in us and through us, and doesn't always make sense to us, and we don't have to understand it, because we trust Him. We know He's faithful. We know that He will continue to be faithful in our lives, and with us and our kids, with a baby, whatever it is, we fully trust the Lord and His will for our life. And so we don't try to fight for understanding, because we don't need to understand. We aren't God. That's who we put our trust in. And so, yeah, it's been a really hard but really good couple of months. And I don't think that we've really just had time to process and to even grieve or anything, because we've just been so focused on just trying to help and trying to just trying to step in and just trying to, like, just help where we can and try to do whatever it is that God's saying to do. And through this whole process too, we've felt like the Lord was asking us to homeschool our kids. So Jocelyn's been taking the reins on that, and it's also been really, really difficult, really hard. Taking the kids out of their school and their friends and their community, and then bringing them to a homeschool environment, which has been really good. Like, I think they're learning so much. And I think it's, even though it's been really hard and there's been fights and there's been just so much, I don't know, resistance to it, there's been such sweet moments too of we've been able to just bring in so much into their homeschooling and reading the Bible with them every morning, and just so many things that they're learning, and so many things that are bringing us closer together as a family, and they feel it and they know it. And yeah, just to see like what God's been doing through that, it's been so good, but really hard.
It's been a really sweet season.
So we don't know what is next. We don't know what's after this. We don't know what he's doing, but and it's hard not knowing, but we trust him, and we know that his plans are good. And we're just so thankful for each and every one of you that has reached out to us, that has prayed for us, that's helped us in any way. Those that have like financially supported us and kept us going. Like none of it would have been possible without you hearing from the Lord and obeying. And so many times we ran up to like roadblocks where we're like, we don't have the money for this, or we don't have the resources for this, or we don't have what we need. And then God provides it through people. And it's seriously humbling every single time. But we just wanted to do a video like this to just let people know, like, we're not done. Like, God's not done with us, and we will never, ever quit. And I don't think that means just missions or just telling people about the good news of Jesus.
It's bigger than that.
It's so much bigger than that. Like what God's doing in the world, and what he's doing in us and our family, it all correlates. It all is interweaved together. And we've just gotten multiple words from people over the last couple of years of different things, like mixing business and missions together, mixing our yeah, the creative side of us coming out more. And we've really felt that in this last season. Is there's so much that God is inviting us into. It's almost overwhelming that we don't know how to move forward, because we want to be in the will of God. We want to be in his perfect will for our lives. And we want him to be completely the sole focus of everything we do. Everything that we do should stem from wanting to know him more and having a deeper, intimate relationship with him. And the same thing goes for our kids. And I think we're realizing that more, is even more of what we can do, the things that we are teaching our kids and stepping out and doing the things that God's calling us to do, is that it's impacting our kids on a deeper level than I think we ever even thought would happen. And so they're learning like how to take steps forward in faith and how to trust God. And when we do things together as a family, like we do them for the glory of God, and we do them to serve other people and to serve his creation. And like that is our life, like that is our purpose, that is why we are here, is to bring him glory and to serve and love others the way that he's loved us, no matter what that looks like, whether it's running a business or whether it's in evangelism, in missions, or fostering kids, or church planting. We don't know.
There's a lot of options.
He's given us all of these things on our hearts, and we want to do all of them. But we just feel, this is a weekend in Texas away that we're able to actually just kind of reflect on a lot of this stuff, process a lot of it, and be able to share it with other people. And that's all this video is. We just want to share it. And there's so many things that we want to do, but we won't move forward with doing any of them until we know that the sole focus will always be Jesus. So we don't know what that means for us and our family and where we go from here. We do feel like God's leading us to Mexico next. We don't know what that looks like, how that's going to play out. We just don't know. So we just want to ask for prayer and support for us and our family. And just encourage others too. We just want to encourage other people that if God's shifting something in you, in your life, whether it be a job or occupation, or whether it be something, transitional with your family, pulling your kids out of school, homeschooling them, whatever it is, like, we just want to encourage you guys to take those steps in faith and
reach out to us. We'd love to pray for you.
Absolutely. If anybody needs prayer for anything, we would love to go after it and pray Pray for you, pray for your family. God has changed us. He's changed our hearts so much in the last 3 years that it's so weird looking back. I don't even recognize the people that we were. Not that we were bad people, but that's just how much even a deeper relationship that we've grown with him is that, like, there's just no turning back now. We've tasted and we've seen, and we're never going back. So, yeah. Thank you, everybody, for supporting our family. It means a lot. And yeah, we're not done.
Love you guys.
Love you.